everyone, thanks for joining me. I hope you're all well. I realise I haven't been on here that much the last sort of week and a half, but thanks for coming back. Right, today I would like to discuss self-inquiry. That is what I've been guided to talk about. Now, the thing is with this journey, particularly if you are a twin flame, then it is so important that you take time to go inwards. So introspection, self-awareness, sort of becoming aware of the growth that you are, well, the journey you're on, the growth that you're about to sort of unfold and create for yourself, but also where you've come from, so the growth that's already been experienced. And for many people, it is so simple to just sort of get on with life and not go into that space to avoid it, because sometimes when we look at ourselves and we look at how we're feeling or where we've been, or perhaps our fears, our doubts, our concerns about the future, it frightens us, and we literally just find it easy just to either to bury our head in the sand or to just keep scampering on that hamster wheel and avoid all sort of connection with that side of ourselves. But the thing is, if you want to progress and you want to get to a better place in life, if you want to be the best version of yourself and be there and be available for other people as the best version of yourself, then it is so important that you take that time to do that work, to look at yourself, to understand and learn to love yourself. It's self-acceptance at its core. And this is the thing for anybody who is sort of connected with you, whether that is in a sort of family situation or a relationship or a friendship or even perhaps a colleague. For those people to try and make sense of who you are as a person and to try and help support you and guide you and just be there for you, then it's quite difficult if you yourself cannot make sense of it. And I mean, that might sound silly, but the truth of it is, you are the one person that can understand yourself the most and the best and the most deeply. You have the profound ability to go to levels that other people simply cannot access. Now, I do know that obviously if you're in a twin flame connection, or you have at some point met that person in your life, you've been fortunate enough to have found that person, then there is chance that at some point within that journey your twin may be able to access certain parts of you that indeed you yourself may have been unaware of. And that is the power of that wonderful profound connection. But for many people that just doesn't come in, certainly perhaps not in this lifetime. It could take years, it could take many lifetimes. So if there's one person that's responsible, it is you. You are responsible for your own life, for your own well-being, for your own growth, your own understanding and learning. It is your journey, no one else's. And we say this time and time again about happiness being an inside job, and it's true. To sort of put that expectation and that demand at somebody else's feet and say, I would like this person to make me happy. If I haven't got them in my life, then I can't go on, I can't be happy, I'm not fulfilled. That's a lot of pressure you're laying at somebody else's feet, and it's not fair, it's not sustainable, it's not right, it's not realistic. The only person that can do that is you. And to get to that point, that involves going into those dark places, those places that you probably have chosen to avoid, and put on a back burner. And there are certain times in life where that is the best thing for us to do in that moment, is just to sort of push it aside and to focus on something else, perhaps distract ourselves, and to be able to move forwards. But at some point when the timing is right, those issues, those needs, those desires, whatever it may be, those things need to be addressed. Only then, after taking that time to accept it and work through it as well, because much of it is a process, only after doing that work can you then move forwards into a correct alignment with where you need to be. So for any of you here that may be panicking and thinking, well, I wouldn't even know where to begin, I think the key thing is it's much what they've said for the last few months. It's about taking that time for self. It's taking that stillness, that quiet time. So whether that's in nature or just perhaps having the room to yourself and just sitting, you don't need any music on, you don't need a TV, just sitting with self and getting used to being with yourself. And I feel that in this sort of modern day and age, the way things work is we're always so busy, we're so distracted, we're sort of filling the void time and time again with things, and whether that is materialistic things, so that's belongings, possessions, clothing or electronics or things for our home, whatever that may be, or it could be that it's filling a void with toxic, negative things like alcohol, drugs, gambling, whatever, addictions. We need to stop and get comfortable with who we are as a soul. And for many people, that moment's still not happened. You may have seen glimpses over your lifetime. You may have tuned in and felt something powerful and thought, what was that? What was that beautiful moment where I just felt like a stillness and a bliss? And it's been content, it's been happy, it's been unguarded and at ease. You need to put time and effort into making that happen, making that come forward. Your soul is always trying to speak to you, it's always trying to reach you to help heal you and grow you and move you forwards. But if you're always filling that void with other things, then you're not available to be receiving those downloads, that information. And it's not just your soul. If you're connecting with your team, your guides, your loved ones in the higher realms and in spirit, they are always sending signs and messages. And again, if you can get comfortable with yourself in your own simple time, in that sort of empty, it may seem like an empty hollow. You may feel like you're sitting in an empty room and there's nothing happening, and at first it may feel like this is a complete waste of time. You're just sitting here doing nothing is happening. But getting comfortable with that, allowing for simply nothing, just allowing to simply sit there and be okay with that is so important. It's the first step on the journey. So if you imagine you just sat there, you make yourself comfortable, you make yourself relaxed, have what you need. So if you need some water, or perhaps you feel you're going to get cold, make sure you've got a jumper or something with you, perhaps a blanket. Get a cushion, make yourself comfortable, because you might be there for a while, and just keep practicing this. Even if it is only once a week, just taking that time to just to sit. And you might hear some distractions. There might be builders doing some work in the street, or you might hear some birds in the sky making a noise, whatever it may be. You could hear the sort of undertone of a washing machine going if you've got your laundry on, whatever that may be. Just allow that, just accept it and just sit, trying not to sort of worry or to get in a sort of stressed energy by that silence, by being alone with yourself. Just get used to it. And the more you can do that, practicing that, and this could just be 10-15 minutes once a week at first, just practicing having that time with yourself. Slowly your soul will realize that you are there, you are ready to listen, you are open to receive, and as will your team. And things just slowly start to open up and change and manifest. um and once you've got used to that, then it's time to start looking at those deeper things. So whether it may be there's something that's sort of bugging you in that moment in time, or it could be a memory you've had from years ago, something that you might regret, and just sitting and feeling those emotions that come up and getting sort of down to the core of what that is you're feeling, what that might be the core trigger there, um, what it is that's going on deep underneath all those layers. And that's what half of this is about. It's about stripping away all those layers, all those, again, the materialistic side of things. So getting rid of the clutter, getting rid of the sort of need to fill the void. But also, we wear many masks. We pretend to be someone that we're not. In a way, it's to guard ourselves, it's to shield and protect ourselves. So if you can sit in a room without those guards on, without that sort of pretense, or this is me, this is today's mask, just being okay with who you are, um then eventually, as I say, you're stripping away those layers, and that's allowing space for the soul to step forwards, or for your guides to guide you to elements of yourself which are deeply connected with soul and source, and allow those to heal. um and this may seem like, to any of you that have not tried this, it may seem like madness. It may seem, well, you know how's that going to help me sitting in nothing? But it is, because it's proving to you that you are okay on your own. You don't need to be wearing the masks. You don't need to be sort of being out and about with superficial friendships, spending time with people that you don't connect with. It's all surface level. And just being at ease with who you are and how you feel. So you're not filling the void with toxic energies or toxic thoughts. You're just simply being still. And it's powerful. It really is powerful. And it takes a lot of guts to go there. You may find that when you sit there, all of a sudden you may wish to cry and you may not know why. You may be thinking, well, I haven't even thought of anything yet. And now I just feel emotion. Allow that emotion to come up. Allow those things to bubble up to the surface. Feel them, be aware of them, and release them. And just keep doing that. And when your soul's ready, it will show you what you need to know, what you need to learn and heal and grow from. And you have to trust in that. You have to trust that it knows what you need to do and it knows how to progress you onto the next level. And as I say, this will come in all different phases, and it might come in different stages at different times for each individual. You know, nobody has the same path. One person might be here to learn about patience, another might be here to learn about forgiveness. So whatever's cropping up for you in those moments of silence, that is your journey, that is personal to you. So don't, you know, if you've done this and a friend's doing it at the same time, or you found somebody on YouTube or wherever that's doing the same thing, don't compare yourself. Don't put yourself in a position of self-doubt where you question whether you're doing it right or anything like that. There is no right way to do it. I mean, I'm sitting here now and I'm just simply guiding you as I'm being instructed to guide. This is not my own personal preference on how to do things. This is just what they're telling me, and you know, I'm allowing this to flow through. So there's no way of getting it wrong. You know, trust in your soul, that your soul will tell you how to do this and what is best, what is the next step forward. But as I say, that stillness, those first moments of just sitting, just simply being, you might even find you fall asleep if you're fortunate enough to. And that's fantastic. That's great. That means your body has surrendered. It means the ego's been pushed aside. You know, ego's gone away. You've been able to have a nap. You've just surrendered to it, and that's beautiful. And in those moments, perhaps if you have managed to sort of just doze off, and you might think, well, I was here 1 minute, what happened? That's healing. That's beautiful. And on the soul realms, and you know, your spirits and your guides and your loved ones, they'll have given you some sort of healing from their side as well. Because you know, in dream time and in sleep, that's a perfect opportunity to meet one another and to connect and to work through some of those the core wounds and those issues. Um. So yeah, I feel that as I say, going inward, then that's basically what this is about. Taking time, and this may unfold over weeks, months, perhaps even years. And don't knock yourself back, because this is an ongoing journey. You know, there are people out there who say, I've done all my shadow work, I've done my inner healing, I've always taken time for you know, introspection, and I'm okay now, I'm healed and I'm wonderful. And that's great for those people if they've done that work. It really is. But truly, this work is never over. There is no set destination. You're not going to get to a point where it's done and that's it, and you can cross it off your list. And some of you may feel annoyed at me for saying that. You may feel, well, what's the point then if you know we can't achieve this goal? It's not about the destination, it's about the ongoing journey. So you will get to a point where you feel that you've healed certain aspects of yourself, or you've learned to understand yourself better, or perhaps you've learned to forgive yourself for things that have happened in the past, things you've said or done that you know you were hanging on to. You've released some of that baggage, and that in itself is, I suppose, in a way, reaching a destination, because you've overcome something, you have achieved something. But my point is, it's never going to be that we get to the end altogether and that's it, you know, there's no more work to be done, because things are always there to keep investigating, to keep experiencing and looking at, and you know, sort of picking apart. It's almost like unraveling the tapestry that is you as a soul, as an individual in the 3D form. And for as long as you have interactions with other people and interaction with yourself, as long as you are alive and living in this 3D body, then the soul will always have work to do. It will always have to come back and keep trying to make sense of what's happening. And I think, you know, so much of life is sort of ran on a subconscious cycle. It's a sort of a separate operating system. And so unless you allow your soul to step in and see it through the eyes of love and sort of the spiritual aspect, then you can live just quite blindly, just operating on that go-to sort of everyday mundane. um it's the autopilot of life. And at some point when you feel ready to say, well, actually, I want to understand this better. I want to understand my operating system and why I react that way and why I feel that way, why I'm triggered by that person or that situation. When you are feeling strong enough to do that, you are open to allowing your soul to come in and help you do that. And that is a powerful moment. That is such a transformative stage. It means you've got to that point in your life where you are feeling strong, you are feeling that divine connection, and you are trusting that there is something more to life than just this 3D world. And that is incredible. So if you're at that point or you're feeling drawn to it, well done. Congratulations, because that is something huge. That is a major, powerful turning point in your life. And I think that's basically what you're aiming for. You're aiming to get to a place where, the fear, it will still be there, because it takes years to sort of work on ego and shifting that out completely. And even then, it'll try and trickle through in the tiniest little sort of seeds and threads. But just knowing that you are unafraid to take that leap of faith, to do some work, and to heal yourself. And that's what this is about. It's not about making yourself better than anyone else, or sort of standing up and saying, you know, I'm spiritually healed, I'm better than you, I've got it all sorted. Not at all. It's just about understanding yourself better, being kinder to yourself, supporting yourself. Um, and as I said at the beginning, that there's a lot of emphasis on meeting the right people in your life, whether that's friends, loved ones, whoever. That you expect them to be able to do this for you, to come into your life and to change you, to heal you, to make you better. And there are aspects of those connections that will do that naturally anyway. But you have to take responsibility for your own stuff, for your own thoughts, your own beliefs, your own actions. So taking that time to say, why do I feel like this in this particular situation? Why did that trigger me yesterday? Why do I seem to operate on this old limiting belief, this system which doesn't even resonate with who I am now in this current time frame? Um, just being mindful and being aware of what is constantly going on in your programming. It's just so easy just to ignore it, to just block it out and to just get on. But you never get the proper results there. That's why if you're feeling unfulfilled, you're feeling frustrated, you're in lack, and you're in that stagnant sort of energy, then it's because there's something there that's operating, that it's no longer serving you, it's no longer in alignment, and it's time to heal it, to grow from it, and to move it on, put it into a different place, and then open up that space for sort of a higher perspective and something better. So please take the time to prioritize going inward for inner healing, for your growth, for your expansion. You owe it to yourself. Don't put that pressure on someone else. Don't lay that demand at someone else's feet. Don't expect that other person to be able to come into your life to understand you and heal you at the same time. It's absolutely impossible. It's just not an option. And when you think about it, that person owes it to themselves to be able to care and understand for themselves. And yes, you might be able to sort of help offer some insight and your perspective, and they might do the same for you, but that is just a tiny little fragment. That's a small fraction of the actual full scale of the work that needs to be done. And as I say, there's only one person that can really do that proper work, and that's you. You're the one that has the right to go into those dark depths. And also, it takes courage. Yes, there's no denying it. These things don't just come easily, comfortably. There may be things here that come up if your guides or your soul are guiding you to look at a particular aspect of your life. You might feel uncomfortable, you might be reluctant to do it, you might even say, I can't do that, and you might block it out for several weeks, several months, perhaps even several years. But as I've said before, come back. If you're guided again, don't give up. Don't look at yourself and think, well, I failed last time, so there's no point. No, you didn't fail last time. You just took some time out because that moment in time didn't feel right. It didn't resonate for you at that point. It wasn't in alignment, and that's absolutely fine. That's nothing to be ashamed of. In fact, it's something to be proud of when you just know that it's not the right time. That takes courage as well, to walk away from something. And some people may say that walking away is being a coward, it's not facing up to your demons. But actually, in truth, sometimes that's even harder to admit that, you know, this is not for me right now. Because that, in a way, is just taking you back to the painful cycles that you're trapped in. And you're throwing yourself back in the void, basically. And the void can be really, really tough. So that in itself has taken courage. But when you are ready to step out of that, when you have decided that you want more, when you want a greater, more powerful, more beautiful life, where you want to feel that deep connection, not only with others, but with yourself, then you are awakening. You have come to the right point in your life. This is where things get amazing. This is where things transcend and transform you into the best, beautiful version of yourself. And you know, as a soul, you'll have already done this countless times over countless lifetimes. But each life it gets more intense, more powerful. And at the minute, this lifetime is a absolutely powerful one. It's beautiful, you know. And like at the minute, this is the Lionsgate portal. This is a profound time. This is a real spiritual moment where things are going expansive, things are awakening, things are, it's like fireworks going off. It is time for change, it is time for growth, it is time to get things in alignment and to decide where you want to be, to set those goals, to have those clear ideas, to understand which aspects of yourself you're not happy with, which areas you need to work on, which things you need to heal, and just being open to that, being accepting of it. And you know, doesn't make you any worse than anyone else, it doesn't make you any better than anyone else. It just makes you authentic and true to yourself. It is your soul and your personal 3D self coming together and saying, right, now is the time to work on this, now is the time for change. So I hope from that you feel some inspiration, you feel a bit more motivated to do something, to change something, to stop going on that scampering hamster wheel and, you know, running yourself ragged and then coming off just feeling absolutely drained and wrecked. It's time to come off that wheel, to find something fabulous, something empowering, something that really recharges your batteries and says, wow, I am happy to be alive. You know, I'm not shameful of where I am or what I've been, or what may come round the corner. I am proud to be here. I'm proud to be alive, and I'm ready to take on the world. Please, angels, guides, loved ones, higher self, be with me and help me change and transform into the greatest version of myself that I can ever truly be. And I thank you for that. Okay, I hope that made some sense and resonated for you somewhere. Thanks for listening. Have a lovely day and I wish you luck on that journey. Go for it. Okay, bye.